Good evening, friends. Thank you, Sanjay ji, for inviting me. It's an honor. And I've had some amazing morning, afternoon, listening to all the stalwarts and all the prolific speakers with so much of experience that I have to take back home with me. And a lot has been said, a lot of facts, data, everything has been shared. What I would like to say is from a brand perspective, I think the first and foremost thing that I personally feel that we come from a land of creativity. I think we are one of the oldest civilizations as a country, and textile being one of the oldest businesses in our country, having sectors from power loom to handloom to auto looms to the most modern plants that you can see in our country today with the help of the government. And also it remains to be one of the highest and the largest employers in terms of an industry. Obviously, we are the world's largest democracy, and we cannot ignore the fact that we are also one of the fastest growing economies in the world. I would say 20% of our population is going to be shifting into middle class, which means more consumption. And if you look at the United States of America, and if you look at the kind of consumption they have, it's humongous. And any of the members sitting over here, if they are exporting to America, they know what kind of volumes they are dealing with. And I think while we are always trying to, export or be a part of a trade with the West, but we are forgetting that our own country has such tremendous potential to grow. And no doubt in the last decade or so, retail has evolved in a big way. A lot of foreign players have come into the game, raising the bar, raising the standards of retailing, product, design, and everything. And I'm sure there's a paradigm shift happening in the mindset of the new generation that's coming up. They are definitely exposed to a lot more technology, a lot more, they're a lot more informed. To my mind, a world today is one, and we are trading in one common platform. What used to travel in India earlier, maybe a year or two later, now what happens yesterday in Milan is there in India today, with the kind of tools we have with the internet. And let's not also forget the fact that the maximum number of Indians in this planet are internet users as on date, which is going to make world even come closer to them. So you're not catering to today's market, you're catering to the future. And that's what we all need to keep in our mind. Apart from all the innovations, trying to be different, I think one thing we need to extract from our nation is the art and the creativity that we have lost somewhere. If you look at the old monuments in our country, they're not well preserved and well kept. But when you go down to Europe, you see a 1,000-year-old building standing tall, because the whole concept of respecting environment, respecting your heritage, respecting your craftsmanship that you have and retain it is something that's missing. And if we revive that, I think there's so much that can be extracted out of our country, and we can be a huge player on the world platform. Look at yoga, look at Ayurveda, look at the Sanskrit, which is the originator of all the languages. I think we are sitting with the richest heritage in the world, but we are not able to convert that into creativity and convert that and make it into a big, into big brands like what Apples have done. What we need to learn from the West is how they exploit the Far East and the Asians to manufacture and pollute our environments and create the best looking brand and the most hygienic looking environments into their backyards. So what we need to do is we need to extract the rich heritage and the intelligence that I think Indians are the most multitasking people on this planet, because they themselves do 360-degree handling of all their businesses, and that makes us more street smart. But we need to specialize ourselves. We need to focus more on creating world-class products, like how the Swiss have done. Small country, but they make the best chocolates in the world. They make the best watches in the world. Or I can give you many such examples. We also need to be best. I think textile is the oldest business that we have in our country. Mahatma Gandhi started the Soot, charkha, and from there it's going on. So I think we have to, start creating a lot of pride amongst ourselves to create world-class brands where we are exporting it to the world. And while the world is coming to India, and when we know the growth is within the country, we should capitalize, because we will understand the dynamics of our country way better than anybody else. And, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little philosophical about what I'm saying, because a lot of technical things have been spoken, a lot of do's and don'ts of business have been spoken, a lot of, areas where growth can be derived, and a lot of experts and, intelligent people have spoken here. But what I want to say is, I think we need to remove the true beauty of our country by converting it into good-looking, well-organized setups and going to the world and look at the Indian market as your playing ground, because you're made in India and you're originated from here. So nobody can understand the Indian mindset better than you. All we need to do is get some good people on board. I think any business requires some amazing people. We have to have the courage to experiment with new and fresh talent rather than going with the run-of-the-mill style of work.